the amount of people that have written in with stories from the tornado, whether it's their house, their neighbor, it's been really powerful. It's also been a lot to read every day, but I appreciate it, and I'm reading all of them. Max and I talked about a lot of them last night. You know, this has been a fun 4 days, but this has been a hell of a 4 days. Thank you, Rick. Not exactly what I love Rick because I could be in the middle of saying anything and he will scream into my ear whatever it is he needs to say. I could be in the most meaningful thing and Rick will go, Matt! And I'm like, okay.
Shannon and Billy could take notes.
Anyway, but there have been like really amazing things written. And this has been a different tenor than what we thought this trip would be, but it's been, I think, important and you guys have been through all this. It's unbelievable. Now, one of those stories we got was from a guy named Austin who called in, who wrote in from Mayfield. I think Austin is on the phone. Austin, how are you?
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Doing good. So you live in downtown Mayfield?
Well, I did. Unfortunately, not anymore because, I mean, as you've seen, I don't have anything now, so. Yeah, I mean it's still fresh, and I don't know. Even 3 days later, it's kind of hard to put into words what we're going through. I mean, everybody sees pictures, videos, but unless you can see that scene in first person, it's unfathomable. Typically, whenever I stand out on my front porch, I live right next to the fire station and the courthouse. I'm less than a block from the courthouse. And typically in my neighborhood, if I stand out on my front porch and I look out, all I can see are the houses that are across the street. Well, now, I stand out on what was my front porch, I can see probably 4 just level ground. You can't put into words that feeling. I mean, it sucks, but
I'm sure. So tell me, like, what were you there that night?
Yes. So it's almost like the little boy that cried wolf. I was in my room, and every year we get probably 2 or 3 of these a year where we go into warning and they tell us how bad it's going to be. And I didn't take it serious, and I was in my room playing on my laptop, and I mean, I had the news on, listening to it, and about a minute before the tornado actually hit, I could already feel the ground shaking and whatnot. And I'm still thinking to myself, oh, it's just thunder or whatever. It's no big deal. Well, about probably 15 to 20 seconds before it truly hit, I could hear it. And people say it sounds like a train. It's not even a train. You can't put into words that sound. And I jumped out of bed, and I took off running to the bathroom, and I got in the shower. About the time I got in there, I mean, it took over, and I was getting smacked. But I had grabbed a pillow whenever I took off running, and threw it over my head, and I just started getting smacked with debris. You could just feel the walls caving in at any moment. I felt like, I mean, I'm going with it. And luckily, as I was running, I called my mom because I could feel the seriousness, and I can't even remember what I was saying to her, but she told me that I just was pretty much telling her goodbye, and I loved her, and she said that it was just, she can't describe to me what she was hearing in the background. It was just unbelievable. But so about 10, 15 seconds of the tornado actually coming through, I was able to compose myself, and I walked out of the bathroom, and I just couldn't believe it. There was literally nothing there. I walked into my bedroom where I was at, and if I was in there for another 15 seconds, I would have been with that tornado. I don't have a roof. I don't have walls. Everything in my room has been sucked out. I mean, yeah, it was just, yep, it's about where it was. And I eventually had to, do what?
No, go ahead.
I mean, eventually I had to climb out of a window because both my front and back doors were barricaded. And I mean, you just walk out into the town and realize, like, oh my God. I mean, the sights that you're seeing, you can't put into words. It's just devastation everywhere. And my car was next to my house, and I couldn't even find it for probably a couple hours because it took it and it carried it probably about 40 foot, and I found it up on its hood. And, and then as time went on, especially the next morning, I was fortunate. My boss, who lives in Murray, he came and picked me up, and the next morning we came back to town. We work at the Walgreens pharmacy. I'm a pharmacy tech over there, so we came back to town to see if we can get the pharmacy open for the people. Where our Walgreens is at is literally on the line of where the destruction starts, so the store wasn't hit. But as you move into downtown, it keeps getting worse and worse. But anyways, we went to open our pharmacy, or tried to get it open, and he went with me up to downtown and seeing it for the first time in the daylight. It literally looks like an atomic bomb was dropped on our town. And, it's still just, it's where we're at.
So tell me what's it like today? If for those of us that are not there, what's it like?
So it's honestly like a circus in town. It's from being somebody that lives there, it really sucks. I understand that people want to get the story out and whatnot, but every corner you turn, someone's trying to stick a camera in your face. And being somebody that lost everything, that's not what I want right now. I know some people maybe want to talk to the media and whatnot, but it's horrible that, people just want it's seriously probably 200 reporters just walking around downtown, cameras just, hey, can we do an interview? Can we do an interview? Like, please just leave me alone, please. I wanted to reach out, to you guys, because with y'all, yesterday was the first time I picked up anything and listened to the show, and getting to hear the sympathy from the callers had me in tears last night, and hear how our state really does care for us, and the prayers being said, and the love that I get to feel from the people that I get to hear call in. I listened to y'all's post-game show from the other night, and whenever I think it was Dan called in, I was in my hotel room in tears, just bawling, man, that's just awesome getting to hear that he was able to share that with us because of what we're going through. And for him to say, it makes me realize that what I'm going through is nothing compared to what they're going through, and it just really helped me. And so I just figured I'd call and give a little insight to where we're at.
Well, listen, man, thank you. That's powerful stuff, and our prayers are with you, and I can't even imagine what all of you are going through, and I'm glad you can listen and get something out of this. But really, I think you gave a lot more to everybody else. So, Austin, I appreciate it. God bless you. When things settle down a little bit, please, give us a call and we'll talk again. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks. There's not much I'm going to be able to say after that, so we'll take a break and be right back.